Right now, Republican voters are deciding whether State Attorney General Bill McCollum or Naples businessman Rick Scott will be the party's nominee in the governor's race. The winner will face the presumptive Democratic nominee Alex Sink and independent candidate Lawton Bud Childs III in the November 2nd general election. We have live team coverage tonight all across the state. Jeff Butera is covering the McCollum campaign in Altamont Springs, but we begin tonight with Don Gramez, who is covering the Scott campaign in Fort Lauderdale. Don?
Well, good evening, Jamison. Rick Scott arrived here at the Fort Lauderdale Hilton just before 4 o'clock this afternoon. He did not do a walkthrough here in the ballroom, instead going straight up to his suite. He's not expected to make an appearance here until much later in the evening. They expect their partiers, their supporters here about 7 o'clock tonight. They're just not sure what to expect in terms of a victory. The faithful began gathering early in the afternoon at the hotel in Fort Lauderdale. Supporters of mega millionaire Rick Scott, who campaigned as an outsider, tired of business as usual in Tallahassee. Scott bucked the Republican Party and ran against party favorite Bill McCollum. He made a name for himself with millions of dollars in advertising. It came out of Scott's own pocket. He didn't campaign personally very much until the last week, like this visit to Tampa yesterday. On Election Day, Scott hopscotched the state from Pensacola to Naples, where he cast his own ballot. I asked the Scott staffer a little bit ago, so how do you think you guys are going to do? He said, well, that depends on the turnout. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, if our supporters turn out, we should do okay. Live in Fort Lauderdale, Don Gramez, ABC Action News.
Thanks, Don. And we continue our team coverage with Jeff Butera, who is following the McCollum campaign in Altamont Springs tonight. Jeff?
Well, Jamison, this hotel is the last stop in a very long day for Bill McCollum. He started that day in Longwood, Florida this morning, where he voted. Then he held a sign and waved at drivers in St. Petersburg. That's what you're looking at right now. From there, McCollum darted off to Jacksonville to rally voters in the northern part of the state before coming back here to the Orlando area for his election watch party. I talked to him in St. Pete and asked him what would be the biggest challenge facing Florida's next governor.
Well, there are two things that have come on simultaneously. One, we badly need to reach out and bring jobs here. We need to create the economic climate. I need some tools that I'm going to ask the legislature for, including some major tax changes and regulatory changes, so I can go market the state and bring headquarters and production facilities here.
The other McCollum says would be balancing the budget. The state is dealing with a massive shortfall right now. McCollum says he'll achieve dealing with that shortfall through spending cuts and not tax increases. But, of course, that will all have to wait until after tonight to see if he can get past Rick Scott in the Republican primary and then past Alex Sink in the November general. We're live in Altamont Springs, just outside of Orlando. I'm Jeff Butera, ABC Action News.